Grand Rising for the East Coast. This is the topic on. Did I make a topic name? Hold on. Oh, accepting my plight. It's on me. I know since I was a child. The reason I'm making this is because I've noticed the overwhelming understanding of men when trying to get to know or talk to a woman. So this is for the Brother Talk series, and for just my regular channel is to share. And it's not a victim mentality or a cry, whatever they call it out there. I don't know. I feel as now on social media, you can't even have a discussion with anyone or about what you experience and what you go through. And this video right here, I want to share my life and what I go through in relationships. And a lot of men won't do that. A lot of men won't tell the truth. But I also, in my life, I notice a lot of men will say the same things, but for some reason, no one listens. My Before I start, I want to just do my introduction. So, coming to you at $500 in 14 minutes is Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. And I want to share something with a lot of people, and I don't know what you want to call it, but just me. I feel as this is part of, you see my intro, what I want to talk about with people and with other men. I want to show that we are always said equality would never happen. But the one thing I want to guide the young children around me is fairness. Do you treat other people fair? And then now, what come first? Do you treat you fair? Have you fairly treated yourself? Have you now, and have you looked in the mirror at everything? Have you done everything you possibly can do? Have you said everything? Have your actions? Have you understood all you can do? And that's the part where I want to share. I never based my life on money and all these things, but now living in this quote unquote new world, new era, everything's based on money. But now let's go back. Now I want to do this with you real quick. As a child, can you think of something, don't matter what you did as a child, it never changed? Think about it. What is it as a child that you seen that came from you that never changed? Inside of you, then outside of you. Now I'm going to talk about the outside. I always felt when I became an adult, man, if I do this, if I do these things, it's going to work out for me. I'm not talking about Disney, fairy tales, superficial material. I mean, just literally become a better person. I will always ask about empathy, sympathy, compassion, and passion. I want to say I did my best to display that within me first. And then I went outside. I said, I think I've done a damn job, because a damn good job. Well, a great job. I want to say damn within me, because if I meet people, they will say that I've done that. But they will also say I have something else about me. I will reveal that in a minute. About me, that what people don't understand is that it's about me because I needed to have that. Even with my sympathy and empathy and compassion and passion, I have to have that. You know why? Because now, if I'm giving out love, I'm sharing my love, I'm sharing, man, my hopes, my goodness, the power of goodness. Check out that. That was an introduction. I did the last video, live video, and it was 7 minutes. So you know me, that's short. So is my goodness being received more than my badness or the not so good about me? And I can say honestly, yes. When do the badness show up? You gotta ask yourself. Now, people don't want to understand that part. Now, I agree with people that say, well, I was good to this person, but they kept doing these things. But the one thing I never do is sit around and accept those things. A lot of people sit around and accept those things about people. Because you know why? Now I'm going back. See the caption of this is me. I didn't accept that about me. When I got in an argument, a disagreement, or I didn't understand, I went back. And the greatest thing about being single, when you go home, there is nothing boggling down your mind, unless you allow it to bring you away. So what I want to get into now, I said, see how I brought it back to me. Now I went outside. Is why am I single? So it go back to me. And the reason I says it go back to me, I have no problem. Do you see the title of this video? And the reason I say I'm gonna make it full screen, I don't know if it go full screen to you. Okay. I don't know if it's full screen to you, but it's full screen to me and everything. So it says the shocking reason why men are single today. Well, the shocking reason, real quick, I'm going to deflect it and reflect it back to me as I was looking into the mirror, or as if I had all this great advice for this person. But I want to make this aware. Now, I'm going to go outside for a little bit. I'm not saying I don't get women, or keep saying the women. I keep hearing that talk. The women that you want. I would have brought it up, but some reason my laptop, when I do the split screen of videos, it moves slow. I can't even show the video. In the segment I want, I will have to record it. So I will come back another time if this pick up traction, and we'll go over it. I know everybody's talking, but I want to talk about it in a different light. I want to talk with brothers and sisters, and I want everybody to express themselves of what their curveball. My curveball is noticing that as a young man, the women of my race and my area was not fond of me. I was 8, 10, 14, whatever age, they were not fond of me. Think about that. So this is not stemming from my mother. This is not stemming from my sister. This is not stemming from molestation or being raped or being touched on. This is stemming from what I've seen, what I experienced. See, and then I'm calling that out because that's not a cry. That's an experience that I don't expect no one to understand. But I have highlighted this one comment that I found the great perfect to understand what a lot of brothers go through or a lot of men go through in today's society. I was born in 1982. That make me 38. Why at 38 a man is and women say, "Oh, you're self-entitled. You think this is land. You think you don't have to." That is not the case. I don't know. I always tell my one guy, I just call him my covenant brother, but things happen. So I still call him as a friend because we still talk as a friend. Why do I have to keep getting better? I don't mean better for me, better for the outside to look in. Because you gotta remember, I had to understand, and I have learned, and the spirit even told me, don't matter how much you do. And women say, well, if you stop talking to women that certain way, if you look at the most recent thing I really took in from a woman, she said something. She said, you know what would make you sexier than you ever been? I'm going to use that as one of my posts on my Twitter and my Instagram. Boundaries. And I looked at the word boundaries. So I was saying, I really think I have boundaries. So she asked me some question. I say yes to a woman because I said, like, so the last woman I dated, I was excited to be with her, right? I'm excited. I thought I met a woman. She's 30, pretty good shape, thick. She's pretty to me. She don't exude all the rap energy. I call it rap energy. The chopped and skewed, the what you call that type of rap, hardcore rap. She don't want to listen to the trap rap. Cool. She listened to I guess rock. It didn't bother me because I love instruments. She loved the EDM music. That's electronic music. And I enjoyed that as well. So the basis of it was great. That wasn't the last woman I dated, but that's the one that I will highlight because ones I'm going to highlight as well is the one from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and when I say 4.5 years ago or 3 years ago, and the one more recently that I just got done dating, they were all difficult. And I mean difficult is because when we was together, don't matter what I did. Just once you look at the title, Why Men Today Are Single. And then I'm going to show the other one. If she was difficult to be with, because it's saying that that type of woman and the other women, the other three women was difficult because I had to keep finding ways that whatever I showed them, it could not be part of their. So if they had an insecurity of other women, even though I'm with them and I'm showing them something and that pops up and they already know, I let them know, hey, my photo album on Google is full of women, but they still want to see. See, that's a trickery out there. I like, you can't. So I was like, so men, don't show them or find that, make an album where they can look at the things you want to show them. Because the more they look at it, it's like, dude, like the one disagreement was the lady from 3 months ago had been posted a video in 3 months. I said, let me look at the stuff I watch. All it was going, I had all these videos, cooking. It was these type of videos. It was less of these types of videos. These more start, for some reason, they started coming to my recommendation. It was the sports stuff. If I even, let me scroll up. It was sports. So you would say, where my marker at? It was sports. It was more of him, this guy, gentleman. All these cooking, see, off the street, young. See how all of these, it was less of these about football. See, talking about being drafted. I am athletes, things that see you can see in my recommendations. All see, I look at see the history. Oh, that's not history. I thought that was history. But even I have history, animal stuff. See, it has rap. See, even have about TD Jakes. I have the men and women. So it wasn't a one-sided feed from what she what bothered her. What bothered these women that made it difficult have nothing to do with me. But then something showed me. One of the bothers from the woman was we had to catch the bus to the mall. Her attitude was created from us catching the bus. I thought that was, I remember thinking about it, but I was, you know how you don't have the time to think about something until later on after it's over with. This was, I wasn't with her no more. I said, so the woman, she valued the car. So if some, and I keep hearing she's out of your league. Well, within my league, she got to have a car. But then I heard a woman said, I don't respect a man that don't have what I have. So this nurse, I don't know how, unless she's a traveling nurse and she worked these countless hours, she said she make $200,000 a year. But she summed it up saying, I don't have time for this type of discussion when I'm helping my mother and I do charity work. Who say I want a man? But she's on this channel. You see them? You see, she's on this channel. She's on a channel that's talking about what's the man today. So she's trying to collect she's trying to gather information about men that would help her if she decide. Think about it. Why would I be on this channel if I'm not trying to gather? So, but this is a self-reflection. So she's going to self-reflect, probably not, but she's on a channel that say she came to it because it's saying why men today are single. And she's seen that guy that everybody give props to in the hashtag JP. So she came to the channel like, oh, what he has to say, because she probably watched a good amount of his video, or she probably seen a lot of his discussion videos, as it is showing. Where's my cursor? For a reason it disappears on me. It's a video of him down here. Where did it go? Right here. This is one of his challenge videos with the opposite sex, the other gender. And so you got to remember that. So and this would be the question, would a car would have made a difference? No. Because then we chose to do an activity with my family, so my sister. So that car didn't matter. We went to a thing called the pumpkin patch. So I want to get in. I don't want to go too deep into that, but it became difficult. Overall, if I keep describing situations, I keep trying to figure out, think about it. I'm reflecting on me. How can I avoid that? And I tried to do the avoidance, and then I came back and say, man, out of your league means, since the one that makes 200,000, she said, and I heard women, does a car matter? But I also heard a woman say, is he working towards that? I'll tell women I don't care for driving. I will probably never, but let's say if I made 200,000, I will have a chauffeur. Let's say if I make 70,000, I will have a chauffeur. I don't even call him, I will have a driver. Would that still bother her? Would that still be good enough? And I had to understand within me, that's not good enough, because I have to find someone. But now, finding someone, why men today, the shocking reason. And one of the shocking reasons, the brother, I'm going to call him a brother, and said, it's not that the problem is men can't find a woman. He said, why can't you find the woman you want? Now, behind the woman I don't want. Okay, so now, Lathan, I think I can't say she the most beautiful woman I will sought after. Not even sought after them. I think she's the most beautiful. Not the most beautiful. I don't know. I live in Buffalo, New York. I tell everybody, one day I was in the Dollar General, it was a Family Dollar over there. It's called Kensington and Bailey. But then you go up, that whole section of street or avenue is called Kensington. It's called a Kensington Plaza. If you ever was in Buffalo, this lady is beautiful. The prettiest woman I ever seen in my life. So that's why I would tell people, looks had nothing to do with it. Did I talk to her? Yes. And the reason I get her number because I was talking to a guy who was and I understood that I still should have got her number and talked to her and left him alone. But it never know. I'd have been married to her. And I told her I don't know if she's been told that. I don't know. Now, for me, I said, excuse me. She said yes. I said hi, her name. She told me her name. I didn't have it was so welcoming. I said, I'm not being funny. I don't know. I don't remember how many words, but I was letting her know. I don't say that. I was letting her know I don't say this. I told her, you the prettiest woman in the world that I ever seen in my life. And still to this day. That was the prettiest woman in the world. And if y'all probably seen her, I have a different view on, I don't know, maybe it was her aura. And I told her it was so uncontrollable how, and I don't think it was just beauty because she said thank you and smiled. You can tell she wasn't like light. I love chocolate women. So you got to think about that. She wasn't even chocolate. So I already know my discretion or emphasis on beauty is not the same. I've dated tall women, fat women, dark skinned, brown skin, light skin. I've never been out of I dated all shades of my race, can be mixed, biracial, didn't even realize it. Or mixed with African and Black American. So they're mixed with another culture, but they have Black. I didn't know the one lady had Arabic in her. So that's East Asian and something else. Arab. Not Arabic. She was something, but it was mixed with East African, Asian. I forgot. I don't know if it was West, East, or South Korean or something, what they call it. And that's what she was. I didn't know that because she looked at it as us. Her hair looked at it as a regular woman that just had, and it wasn't like texturized hair. It was whatever you call it, 4C hair. It got nappy when it's wet. It shrunk when it's wet. So you would never know. So her bloodline, whatever the bloodline for that type of hair, was stronger in her. So that's why I said I thought she was Black, Indigenous American as me. So, but I never. So I have to. So as first, what I have to do as a man, throw out certain rules. Rules I have to throw out. I've dated all shapes, sizes of my race women, but I have not dated out my race. But I don't. And see, and now that's another thing I see. Black women that's married, that have Black men. I guess even when I say I'm a good, I believed her. But they always recommend the young girls or young Black women, even their daughters, to date other race men. And a brother had asked that question, why you do that? You got to find that and go and do a part 2 to this. And so I said, wow, is it really me? Or is it other males? And then I got into groups, and it's not like them other groups when we dissing women, talking about we gonna kill Black. I can't wait to see Black women. These brothers, we are actually in these groups saying, man, I want a Black woman, but they don't want me. And we encourage each other. It's like, I'm doing that bad that, and people say, oh, it's a woman out there, it's a person out there for you. And we sitting there saying, where? And the reason I don't stick around for the difficult woman is it's not that I can't take it. My heart can't. My heart start hurting. My heart start hurting. My heart start hurting. And I will want all those women to understand that. And it's like, oh, the last woman that they kept, oh, you saying it's my fault. You calling it evil. We didn't have a problem until our first problem, what it's quote unquote, Black men made, where I just seen the word, thought I seen the word problem somewhere. My first problem is the video of another woman. That was my first problem with her. She said everything went well and was smooth, but I can tell by the end of it, every problem now came from outside of me. Why today men are single. Every problem came from me outside of me. And I love this video. Let me highlight it. See that? Self-improvement. And that's what, why to me, to keep improving myself. So I'll ask my friend Lamar, how much do I got to prove? They talk about level. I think a men level. I think level up is for women. I think a men plateauing or reaching his peak, in which I mean plateauing, getting to a plane where he can work within and he keep climbing. So he can go up this pyramid. Let's say he at the bottom of the pyramid for him, not relationship. I'm not talking about that. And then keep moving up, as in, okay, not even about people's like, oh, his money, his income. You can make, if I make, like the one man say, I make 200,000 a year. So my value of the man, he have to make 200,000 a year. Cool. Good luck. You're not gonna, if that's your only, so he have to make more than her. That's stupid. You would never get your only, that's not gonna last. That's why I didn't stay with those women, because I learned that wasn't going to last. No, why that wasn't going to last? I had to make 200,000 because she made it. She's a nurse. Let's say my 200,000 come from actual business over a fixed 5-year period. What if something happened to the economy? What if everything we do wasn't so beautiful? I don't know. Oh, do highlight and making it better. And do unhighlight. You say, this brother, which I want to share, he shared with me what I've been speaking on. That's why I led with that. I think that'll make it better. So we know from previous interviews that he knows about what promiscuity does to people's minds, how birth control changed women's sexual behavior, how women are encouraged to pursue careers rather than relationships. The parental distribution. Sorry, you know how that works. I don't go over my flaws or faults. When it comes to females selecting for sex, pornography, and Tinder. So he's giving us an outline of things. I'm reflecting on me, but I also above read that. But I'm keep going. How do you consider all the above privileges women have in dating market and reach the conclusion that men need to do better? And isn't that the title? Why men today are single? He gave us a reason. That's outside. Then he said, consider the above privileges. It's still outside the dating market. I'm single. I'm in the market. And reach the conclusion that men need to do better. Now, I do all this better. But remember how I started and I told you, I'm not crying, not playing. I'm giving you the truth. Women would tell me this. I was not from the beginning of between 8 and 14. I'm still wasn't sought after. So now my experience got a little attention from women in my 20s. So now when I finally reached my 20s, this was the perfect. I love it because he articulated it good. To my 20s, now I'm getting looked. So remember, 8 to 14 ain't want me. So from 14 to 20, now I'm getting looked at. Now in my 20s. Those same girls. So imagine what they experience. Their sexual behaviors already, the promiscuity with people. So they share themselves with people they encourage from careers and relationships. They don't want to be wives. They don't want to have children. What does this parental word mean? I'm quite sure that's probably very, very key. Oh, it's a whole. Oh, it goes together. Never mind. Named after it's Italian. And it's nothing to do. People that don't know me. There's nothing to do with how I speak, with a speech impediment or under. I look at words. It's not I don't call it a. I feel as there's things we are born with that we are changed. So for me to see it the way you see, I would have to speak it the way you speak it. That's what happened with me. I'll do a whole thing on that. And people don't believe that, but I do. Because I remember as a child, and it has nothing to do, but I'll say it's not the word dyslexia. It has nothing to do with that. I used to actually see a different language. I had to be taught how to speak. See, now a lot of you won't understand this because you say, no, you a baby. No, really, in a whole different sense. I had to be taught how to speak English, but that's another time. I discussed it, but I never went into detail. So, however the Pareto distribution, named after the Italian civil engineer, economic sociologist. Oh, his name, Vilfredo Pareto, is a power law probability. It's a probability that is used in the scripture description of boom. I see. I never knew that. Brother articulated very well of social quality control, scientific, geophysical, actually, and many other types. So we're not only going to look up geophysical, and I always say the word actualization. So the actually word is going to have to look up these words real quick. Geophysical. Okay, it's a subject of natural science occur with physical processes, a physical property of the earth and the surrounding space. So if we do the product of I guess the example would be the geophysical, my environment. Think about that, brothers. Your environment. See, your environment. Think about, what happened? Think about that. Your environment. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So, how do you say it? Actuarial. See, I said it right. Realize or not, too, from my understanding, I could have been a spelling bee champ, but that goes into the power of goodness. I'm going to do that. Power of goodness of why I want to use that. You're going to say, oh, why you ain't do it? Because you ain't had that support. But that's not the power of goodness I want to speak on. I don't speak on it. Actuarial is the discipline that applies mathematical and statistical method to assess risk and insurance. I'm not insured. See, finance and other. I'll use these. I want the meaning of the word, but the meaning in the word, it helps the insightfulness of what I'm talking about. So now as we read, when it comes to female selecting sex, pornography, and Tinder, is the choice in my area. So if you view porn at a young age, it can help to your geological or actuarial view, but it don't determine everything. Just as her birth control changed her sexual behavior, her promiscuity, her encouraged to pursue careers. See, it wasn't imbalanced. None of these things were balanced, right? None of them was no balance, but there was no balance in us as well. But somebody has spoke a comment as talked about. It's funny hypergamy come up about, well, if the reason men are single today is to only work on yourself and I have to keep doing better, what do my experience tell me? So now my experience, I got a little attention from women in my 20s. So we got to remember, from 8 to 14, no attention. The little girls didn't like me. So from 14 to 20, now going into my 20s, now I got attention. And then now the next part, sometimes I got shut down bad. So we get rejected very bad. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth. How dare do I think I have how? But so now look, it's like this dude must have did great in English. Props to this dude. I don't know what his race is. His picture is very far away. It don't matter. But how dare do I think I have a chance? So from 8, I'm 38 to almost now. Let's say I'm 30 now. I'm 31 now. I've been working with a little pause since I was 19. Now, and this is what we don't want. Why am I single? I reflect on me, and it's just a reflection of me. And this is what we don't want. Now I'm getting to attention from women my age. And you say I'm crying. This is our grievance. Growing up, those women gave their best years to men. Growing up, this is what bothers us. From why are we single? That's all I would tell my friend Lamar, I got to keep being better and better. And it's not even about money. We are like, cool. I don't want the woman that the woman that want to make 200,000 a year that said I got to make 90. I don't want her, because you know what that shows me already. I can make 200 million a year. It won't be good enough because she made 400. And this is how you have to think, brothers. This is to save your soul. I want to help my brother save them her. That means this woman that says she made 200,000 a year would not be happy if you made 200 million. Because say you meet her and she made 400 million a year. She won't be happy with you. That's not what you're looking for, because the support will not carry over. There's no carryover. So think about the top premise. All these things that he gave an outline, and he said, all I do is become better. But I experienced this. But growing up now, I gave the best. Those women now that want me at 38, I don't care what your age is. They're not married. Why aren't they married? And then they say, why aren't you married? I got to keep doing better. That's why I'm not married. That's why I'm accepting my plight. See, I bow out gracefully. I don't use the word hope or faith no more. I say I grace. Because I don't hope you get better. If your parents pass away and you miss your family, I grace. I give a reverence. I give me to you a understanding of love. So I grace. This is my heart to your heart, that you have a better, and I'm happy in his greatness of. See, everybody say I wasn't a good example. Now I'm bragging. I'm not taking credit, but I have an insight. All the young men around me in the departments, I didn't want the money department. You know how good they doing? See, this is where my joy. See, they don't understand my joy. I don't get joy by making millions. I get joy that I'm my nephew about to make millions. My cousin about to own lands and properties. That's the joy. Power to my brothers. They're about to make all of that, not me. I don't want that. They got it. It's not that they don't want it. The betterment of what I had in me was poured in them without me even knowing. I listened to the males in my family. Like one day, my cousin said, "You used the N-word." And I say his name, Mario. I said, "You older. You know why I use the N-word?" He said, "Why?" Because you were young. I don't use it now, But now, if I say the N word, I can say Mario. I use this as a reference. Guess what Mario know? Mario know what the word reference means. So if I said the N word back then, Mario have no reference of the word. All he had is what OJ told him. And you know what Mario didn't do after that? Mario didn't change up because I never changed up on Mario. But a woman said, I can't believe the advice you give the young men. No, I give these to young men. My cousin now in his age, I can say what I say. You think my nephew know I'll talk? No. You think my niece? No. People say, well, that's the reason why your nephew would have. No, I asked my nephew before. He didn't even respond. I said, are you into black women? And then I had to know funny. I had to look at my sister. I said, boom. That's why. But the greatest thing out of that, he met a beautiful Laos woman. I got a great nephew, and I love him. I love my niece. Even though the things that come with the outside of that wasn't great, but I love my niece. One of my niece, I'm not gonna be. I even grew. It's funny. My regular now, my great nephew. I grew him up, and I grew my niece up. I don't think my sister and my brother would say anything different. And you want to know something funny? The reason I don't talk about certain topics is because, like, I'll be blunt, R. Kelly. You know how many times I had all my niece, I watch my niece and the females in my family, and I gotta say it, I never touched them. I never think about touching them. I don't want to touch them. But I can't get on social media, and this is the craziest part. This is that minimalization. And say, I'll give my niece a kiss on her cheek. I do things with my niece that I tell her, I'll do this with you, like sit on my lap. You're my niece. Unless this is your husband or something of that nature, you shouldn't be sitting in a man's lap. I have to tell her that because there are sick men out there. There are people that's sick. Not even just men. Just people in general. I tell my niece that. But that's why I don't I don't care. I don't, you know what, I learned this too. I'm not doing this for women. I don't care if a woman want to be with me or have a child with me. Because it's sad that these same women having children with men that don't want to be fathers. I want to be a father. See, that's the difference. If you have a baby with a woman and a man wants to be a father, and those men don't have children, but the men that are not good fathers today, I don't care how active, you guys still got to be. See, some things like my mother was a great mother, but you want to know what made her great? She wasn't just a mother. My mother was great. You want to know what make her great? She wasn't just a mother. A lot of you won't get that. You want to make a father great? Now give some great men props because they're great. Because he wasn't. My friend Lamar, it's funny. My friend, no diss to her because they probably hear these videos and I'm straight blunt to the forward. And I'll tell them, I will want to tell her, but I don't have reason to talk to her really no more. Because she with a man. I had to think about that. Wow. She dissed my friend who's in a marriage that had a baby marriage. She dissed him. But she got 2 children with a man that do things to her that he shouldn't do. That's why I say my mother is great. But my mother is great beyond being a mother. My friend Lamar is a great man. That's why that was the greatest thing. He the only man that I know told me he was jealous of me. How was a man that get more women than me, got a wife, have a daughter, jealous of me? And I'll talk this in the public, and we would. I don't think he had no problem with it because that's how we talk. We used to go out, and when I called myself a Christian, when I denounced it, it was different. And I don't think I was really even speaking the word. He did. It was almost like yin and yang. Like if we was a rap group, we was I'm sorry, we was better than Run DMC. And one dude said, "Yo, y'all good together." He's speaking life, and you up here. It's like whenever I couldn't reach the next pinnacle, which that was helpful. That's why a woman is your helpmeet. That's the purpose of man and woman, to help each other. Not that this woman gonna be my wife. She's gonna help me. Not that I'm gonna be her husband. I'm gonna help her. So just because she make 200,000 a year, that woman gotta understand that. How are you going to help that man? How is that man going to help you? Because if he make 400,000, that don't mean helping. That mean if you making 200,000 as a nurse, that mean you, again, you working all them hours and all them things. I don't want to get off topic. But my brother had to understand, you see how far he was jealous of me. Why? I don't know. And he gave reasons, but I don't believe in jealousy. So I said, well, thank you for telling me, but we didn't fight. We never fought or never got to that because we always entered as men. Not being funny, we got in a fight. We pretty much know who will win, but there is X factors that we both know that it's not 100%. And I know that. I don't take him lightly. He wouldn't take me lightly. So we know who will win, but we don't know who will win. Because, okay, I got, see, winning is not always getting over on somebody or knocking somebody out. To me, if I watch a boxing match, knocking me out, you haven't proved you can beat me. Every time I was dinged real hard, it was unexpected. That means I threw a right hook and I was expecting a left hook and he hit me, he dinged me real hard. Never been knocked out. I said, yo, he could have knocked me out because I was unexpected. Knockouts are unexpected. Knockout is not, oh, he punched me right in my face. I seen the punch and he knocked me out. Ask any person that ever been knocked out how they got knocked out. I didn't see it coming. Every answer I ever heard, I never seen it coming. That's a knockout. So if you never, but now a lot of brothers, we have got aware, previous interviews, this was about, go back, I got to keep showing the people the reason why men are single today. And it's one of his reasons was giving up, growing up. Those women gave me the best years, gave their best years to men. And I spoke on that from 8 to 14, I wasn't looked at. By 14 to 20, I started being looked at. And that's, as he said, my experience is still very little attention from women in my 20s. Still then, little attention. Sometimes I got shut down bad. How dare I think I have a chance? So how dare I think the way I think now? How dare? What you telling me I have to be? The reason that I'm single today, because it's a self-reflection of me. But how dare, out of all the things that I ever done for me to be better, I need to only do better. Don't matter what these women been through. How dare of me that I think I can do well with these women. But I'm 31 now. He's 31. So this sad, and I grace that those brothers don't go 7 more years of experience to me what I experienced at 38. Now these women, and I always say I don't want, and a lot of us tap out because I'm 38. Man, every woman, one woman told, no, not even one. The one that stood out the most, because the way I always say that one that stood out the most, it has nothing to do with. I don't know. I don't think like a woman. So when women like, you sound like you're smiling about her. I was like, I am. I will smile about you, but you, and my grievance right now with you is a battle of what we are experiencing together. And we're not experiencing good. Because you gave your best year to the men that gave them, and that's the key part. Growing up, these women gave the best years to these men. And also they say, I want to have joy with a woman. He haven't experienced nothing. He never probably lived with a woman. He never went grocery shopping with a woman. He don't have a baby. But I meet women with a baby, women that lived with 2-3 men already, experienced all the best years, and got nothing in return. I don't have a car. So if say out of her league, I'm out of her league because I don't have a car. I should never date those women. And those women do ask me. And I tell them, no, I really don't. But I will work if I'm with a woman and I don't like enjoying cars, don't you think? I was like, well, this got to be the woman for life. Because what I'm doing now, and see, nobody going to take, what's that part? What's that part? The Crimson Cure, if you watch her, she uses this word. Not the precaution, the dangers, the time, not the time and grade. It's similar to that word. But I'm going to do things that I normally wouldn't do. If I'm in a relationship with a woman and I love her, I'm going to do things that I wouldn't do before. Single, I am not going to get a car. I don't care about no driver's license. But I actually will take the time out. And I broke up these words because he used these words. He used these words right here. I never heard of that. Empirical distribution. I never heard of this word before. And it shows what's going on. Fitting into the trend, the large proportion as well. And I didn't even read that part. And then the geophysical of why, from if I was a little kid, this is what happened. I like doing it every once in a while because I know I get off topic. So I come back to show people, whether they're new, and thank you for watching. Whoever's watching, thank you for you share, appreciate it. Hit the notification. My channel is not based on like everybody. I'm not talking from a bias or a space. I'm talking, and my teacher even said that. She said, you wrote a thing and it was supposed to not be about you. And I told her, I don't know how to, and it's not a self-exhort. It's a self-highlight. What I'm doing, people might not want to say is true. I'm self-highlighting me so I can understand me. If I don't understand me, I would never understand you. So if somebody watching this and that see my video, I would never understand you if I don't understand me. So the actualization, I use that word. The method to access the risk. Yeah, access the risk. That's the word I'm looking for. The risk I'm willing to take with this woman. So me getting a car is a risk to me. See, that's very minute. But in the top 3 reasons of death is car crashes. I'm not scared of death, and I don't fear death, but I'm not stupid to death. The tree fall thousands of miles away. I know it's going to make a sound, even though I didn't hear it. I'm not dumb. I would never say, well, just because I never been now, I'm going to take on. Now, let's add that women been in this section, the birth control, the sexual behaviors. Under sexual behavior, she might have been touched as a little girl. That's why I brought up, I don't get into those spaces. I get angry, and I'm sorry. You can say I need counseling. When women start calling men pedophiles for speaking their truth, and it's not even nothing to do with pedophile, like R. Kelly, R. Kelly did his deed. True. Derrick Jacks cheated on his wife. Who did Derrick Jacks cheat with? And how was R. Kelly able to have access? DJ Kid. How was DJ Kid and R. Kelly? Bill Cosby. How are they getting access? Nobody's saying that to these little girls. They have to do. So if R. Kelly, a grown man in the car, I don't have a car, hanging around, and that's not the reason. I just don't like driving. See, it's not deeper. It's just my understanding that people not going to critically think about. You seen a grown man. This is why I don't have the discussion. Because I want to punch everybody in their face. See? Like, you can't beat a baby. And your punishment is not the same punishment. I'm sorry. I feel as in the world, we all pick and choose what. We mad at that woman being raped on the train, correct? How many of you stopped somebody from getting bullied? How many of you stopped a little kid from getting beat up on the street? How many of y'all stopped that lady getting beat on by that man next door? How many of y'all went next door and stopped that man? No. That's why I don't enter these discussions.
Because OJ never in his life in the area. I seen a little kid talking about, I stopped him. I seen little kids like, I stopped dudes with guns in their hands pointed at each other in the middle of the fight. So nobody, I went into a war. I'm less than what, 20? My life is only worth $200,000 to you women. My life is only worth if I'm driving a car. That's a utility. That's a usury. I'm not mad. That's why I don't join the game. That's a game. Bloods and Crip is ran by the government, created by the government, outlined by the government. But nobody, Bloods and Crips ain't killing no more. You know why? The government told them to stop. The government just decided on how I will make sure by my choice, why the men today are single, we won't have these discussions. See, we scared. We have a 6-hour videos, but nobody will say this. But then if somebody do, and within that 6 hours, I watched the video. I'd have told that little dude, where do you live at? Let's get, I don't want to fight you like a Neanderthal. Man, I know where 3 boxing places in my city. Do you know where they at? Or an octagon. We could put the gloves on. We could go MMA, UFC style, or we could go boxing style. After that style, we can go play chess. After that, we can go physically climb a rope or do something. We can run an obstacle course. And I guarantee you he'll beat me at, he might have some advantages. He might get a slight win. He won't beat me at none of that stuff. Man, I got a 95. I got a 90. And I'm not even good at multiple choice questions because I know who I am as a man. So the man kept saying he a beta. And I said, well, if you think you an alpha, that means you bullying him. That's what it's the social construct of an alpha is bully. They're one way. But nobody talks. So if growing up, even going through the parietal distribution, the theophysical, the actuary of why today men are single, this is the perfect example I'm showing of why men are single. He gave the understanding. I even gave the woman an out, which is true. She's been molested. Her father taught her a certain way. Her mother showed her a certain way. Her product, and basically, if you do geophysical reason, it's the physical property of the earth. If we go by the earth, so the product of your environment, as we enjoy, we will utilize, which she's been through. They have all these privileges. A woman get to pick and choose, even though there's so many more, thousands of more women. We'll do live on that one day, a video on that. There's not thousands of more women. There's only proof. There's probably only, let's go by that woman money mark, 200,000 more women. So let's count the gay women and the gay men. But let's count the single people. Imagine all the straight single men and women of one race got together. Other races probably most race, a lot of men just bow out too, but they don't talk about it. But now they have a platform and now their voice get heard. He's one of them. And I don't think he's a black man. He looked as he's Caucasian, or maybe he's mixed. He experienced, I'm showing him because he's the best articulation of the example. And as he know his life, my life, I didn't get the looks, but the reason I'm single was my fault. I have to level. I need to keep doing better. I got to keep working for more money. I got to keep working, lifting weights to get more muscles. I got to keep working on like, how's my personality? I don't think I'm a bad person to talk to. What you want to talk about? Aliens, science, poetry. I got that. I may not be like super in depth with it, but I understand if I look at, show me some artwork. Let's read a book together. If you believe in something, let's do your belief. I don't care. That's how deep. But if you want me to be a certain way at all times, I can't be a certain way at all times because I only could be me. So growing up and what we want to experience, if she's 16-year-old girl on the bus said she had 9 partners. Go back to the top part. She gave her best years to the bad boys, the addicts, or just the players. She was probably one of the players, the addicts, or the bad girls. And they gave her little in return. She had sex with 9 dudes at 16 already. I was 23. I had sex with 0 women. I met a girl. She said I'm 13. She had sex since she was 13. She already been with over 30 men. by 23. I don't know what you want me to get out of that. I haven't actually had to do the math. I thought I've been with a whole bunch of women, but I'm like, no, I haven't. I know this ain't even better, but I'm not doing the comparison. Like she won't be the man that make less than her. So I have to make, let's say 60,000. Cause I heard the 24-year-old girl on this channel said she made 60,000. The average man by the age 24 only making less than 50,000. She said, wow. And men make money at a 55% less rate than women. So at his age, he was only making like 33,000 a year. She was making 62. So I got to keep starting my refrigerator. I don't know why I keep doing that. I think it's going to blow up one day. I need a new one. So whatever. And so she already, again, experienced the best years of her life and got little in return. She got little in return for being single and making 62,000 a year. But see how logical I can be. That's not enough, because now, according to them, I have to find out. I didn't even read the comments yet. Woohoo! Wait till y'all see the comments. Wait till you see the comments. And this is what 38-year-old age, Otto Williams Jr., no children, no prison, no drugs, no disease. Now, think about all of that. And that's not a saying I'm a big up on another man. I think, this is how I think. The dudes in the streets that got records, they're supposed to partner with me. You know why the dude in the street can partner with me? But nobody answered that question. Why I don't have no beef with dudes in the street? My beef is, are you selling drugs and giving drugs to people that cannot help themselves? That's my beef. That's my beef with them. Like, they killed the dude for talking about Nipsey Hussle. They killed the dude. Nipsey Hussle. Look at the name. Clef Low Dollar. Look at the name. Come on, man. TD Jakes touchdown. Not being funny. I gave him, I might read, listen. I listen for the good. I don't worry about the bad they do in their personal life. I don't know how many women TD Jakes had sex with, or how many times he cheated or not. I don't know. May or have not cheated with his wife. I don't care about that. TD Jakes said something to me. Joy Smile, whatever person. Jordan Peterson, the roommates. There's young men right here. Who else? The Crimson Cure. Who out there? Kevin Sales. Even Kristen Carrison. I even spoke on her. Even her, I took good out of it. I understand why a 6'5" big black man will be intimidated to a 5'5" black woman. She gave me logic and sense. Wow, I am big as hell. Standing over you 5'5" and saying, hi, how you doing? I will be intimidated too. But now I have to look at, why is she only intimidated by me, but a man her size can go out there and literally cut people in half and pull their throats out? She's not scared of him. Now the other part has to come back. Now I reflected real quick. But I also had to say, I need to do better now. So a man can go out there, because he's a different race, kill people, known for committing the most suicides, known for killing more black women, known for doing everything worse. She's still scared of 6'5" me. But in a retrospect, I'm gonna have to look at me. Why do they don't feel protected around me? But her protection for him, now this is the crazy part. This is what the scary part is. She felt protected about a white man that small. Let's say he didn't do none of them things. He's small. Because now this became illogical. He became protected because she knows she's going to have, if she just mess with a white guy that just treat her good, even though they don't have a pretty home, she's going to have a home. But even though she get with me, I know I supported myself and I'm willing to, we're going to have a home together and work together, or she don't have to work either. She's still scared of my stature. Why is that? And I proven that I protect her. A man did something she had nothing to do with, and I stopped him and I yoked him up, bigger than me. But that's not a thing for her mind to change. So come on, brothers, their mind not changing. Don't matter what you do. You can do better all you want. At 20, he got better. By 31 now, he's doing very well. He's been working since he was 19. And then I remember a woman said, black men don't understand economics. I want to say something about economics. I don't understand economics to the point I'm self-employed. Self-employed do not create. Now economics. Let's go to economics. Economics real quick. What is economics? Black men don't know about. Is that her a study of people? It seeks to explain what drives human behavior, decisions, reactions faced with difficulties or success. Economics is a discipline with combined politics, sociology, physiology, psychology, I said physiology, and history. The study of people. Black men don't understand the study of people. I don't understand, no, and I will agree with that premise. But it also explains what drives human behavior. What drives a black woman born to a black man with a black husband, get married to a black man, tell her black daughter could go date any race man. When her black husband is doing what he's supposed to do, and he's her father, and he's doing the best he can. The nature of science, the physical process of the earth, the actuarial, the industry, professions, what dictates is basically what dictates the discipline, the politics, her sociology. Why today men are single. So previous suitors had none. What she required, I need to do better, gave none, but got their best years. But I have to do better. I have so much more to offer. I can end it right there and get them while I'm older. Friendo, no thank you. Now I'm 38. Now I have to date these women. Even the one woman I dated before, the one woman that I have a closer date came in, we had intercourse and sex and made love. The one before her, I have more to offer. I was too affectionate. The one that I made love to, I was everything, but I understood I had to be a Christian man. I wasn't Christian. So if we go by an equally yoked 200,000 a year versus her religion, I have to be what they need me to be. That's what it seemed as. I can't be no more. They want to learn and understand, but there is no learning and understanding. I should have been hit the okay. Now, here is it's a woman first comment. Oh my goodness. Even reading that, me explaining that, actually doing a little bit of understanding of these words, the understanding of what we can be talking about and what we can say. Going back, this is part 2 at 1 hour, 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Part 2. I'm gonna have to put that 1 hour, 10 minutes, 8 seconds. It's part 2. I'll remember that. No, I won't. One moment. One hour, 8 minutes, 10 seconds. Part 2. I'm going to write that in my description. This is part 2. It's the comments. Now, within that, the reason why men are single, and I'm going to read his response one more time after this was about self-reflection. So we know previous interviews that we know about what promiscuity, I know how to say the word, does to people's minds. Basically, promiscuous. How birth control changed women's sexual behavior, how women are encouraged to pursue careers rather than relationships. The parental distribution when it comes to females selecting for sex, pornography, and Tinder.
How do you consider all of the above privileges women have in the dating market and reach the conclusion that men need to be better? The reason you are single because it is your fault and you need to self-reflect and do better. And he asked the question, it's not that people are single, it's like, why are you single? And as a man, you are single because the women like to use a word. And no, it's not by choice. And yes, we have plenty of sex, and that's what we were mentioning on. Thank you, Brother David. I wasn't paying attention to the comments. So thank you. No, it's not by choice. And that's where I'm getting at. Oh, you just commented a little bit ago. So it's not by choice. And of course, we have plenty of sex women in the 30, all the way 40, now I'm 40, and they're getting sex from, and I'm not getting it. And that's what he's kind of alluding to. It's like, no problem. And no problem with what we desire and what we want. And so now, part 2, let me keep reading. My experience got a little attention from women in my 20s. Sometimes I got shut down bad. Like, how dare I think I have a chance? It's like, how dare I think I have a chance, even though I think I'm supposed to have a chance. I'm 31 now. I've been working with little Paul since I was 19. Now I'm getting more attention from women and older, my grievance. And now I'm getting more attention. After growing up, these women gave their best years to men that gave them little in return. Bad boys, addicts, and just players. Suitors had none, gave none of their best years. They gave none and got their best years. I have so much more to offer, more than my money and what I can do for her. I get them when they're older. Nobody wants that no more. I'm 38. Why do I want a woman after her 30s to do all that and then come look at me and say, man, I think I'm over the money, guys. I'm over it. Like, because like that don't matter. Even I watched the video of Steve Harvey. He had like 3 women, gold diggers. So I'm happy I got a business. She happy she get to run her business because it's more lucrative now. She got to do all she want. And the first response, I've dated fat women. All my race women, never went out my race. That's facts. Never been out my race. Fat women, dark skin, light skin, brown skin. That woman. Never had a problem with a skin color mixed biracial black woman in my life to date. The prettiest woman I ever seen in my life, again, that I alluded to, was a brown skinned woman. She wasn't dark skinned. And I love dark skinned women. I love dark skinned women through lust, fetish. I guess that's what they would say. You only love me because you fetishize me. Because I'm dark skinned. I look good when I look oiled up. I think a brown skinned woman, like you ever see a brown skinned woman with that little baby hair on her arms or her legs and get some oil on it and how it glistens? I love that about a woman. You ever wake up to a woman when you had the opportunity, you smell her breath in the morning and it don't stink? See, women, I was called creepy for that one. Okay, but still, why are you? It still don't matter what race you dated. According to him, you have to self-reflect. You're the reason, David. David, you are the only reason. You, Courtney, which I respect. I don't care, white, black, Asian, Puerto Rican. I don't care if it's Jesse. Obama told me, man, Obama, the shocking reason why you are single, you have to look at you. And you looking at you, this man made the perfect example of I did do that. And the first response, it could be the same women you want were simply immature. You consider them. So what Dr. Peterson said was actually correct. You leveled up. When they were ready, they were able to see the value that appear to have, and by getting to know you, I'm sure they see the value you truly profess. It's unfortunate. So this actually came off good. Maybe I'm talking about another comment, because it was another comment that a man, he didn't articulate it this way, and it came off different. I guess he articulated in a way all the woman can do is respond a certain way. She actually had pictures of the cross. So because she a Christian or Catholic. I'm sure you see the value you truly possess. It's unfortunate of the past period. However, I would say having to access
these women at a more mature state, I would say is the real boom. See, now the real goal is now I did all the things I was supposed to do. Now, Tanisha, so that's funny. Her name's Sophia. I knew a girl named Sophia. I knew a girl named Sophia. And Sophia talked to me. She didn't talk to me before. It took till I was 20-something to Sophia to talk to me. That threw me in the box. She got married. Now it's going to be a divorce. Maybe I'm saying her name wrong. Another, see what I'm saying, brothers? See how that go? See how that go? Exactly. So Marion, boom, because Marion had to be honest. And that is, this is so disrespectful. I'm not even sure if you are serious. So they didn't see my value while I was 20 and had nothing because they're in their 20 and they had an abundance of options. But now they become less desirable each year that passes. And it was trying to say men to become less desirable. I seen David picture. I seen Brother David picture. Now, Brother David, this is not a diss. I thought you was some big, ugly, fat dude. And I had to say, no homo. He not a big, ugly, fat dude. David is an all right looking dude. David is an all right looking dude. Man, all I'm going to do, a man. Guys, he disagree on the black women, and I don't agree with his premise on the white women or Puerto Rican or Latin, whatever you want to call them. Still have our views. It's easier, and I'll tell people that it's easier to do that with David because women automatically see David as mean. Already women have told me in my messages and women I was talking to, I said, I don't see David as mean. I say, listen to David. David even give y'all, I'm going to do an access to a channel like throughout the week. So it's hard for me sometimes to get up and wanting to do stuff, not because I don't make money off of this, it's because I don't have a lot of, I do this to open up when I'm bursting. See, I'm bursting with, see how if you listen to all I'm bursting to share. I'm never bursting. Sometimes the quicker they are, I'm not bursting to share, or only that's the time I have. But I'm bursting to share this with you. So if they didn't see my value in 20s and I had nothing, it's not that he ain't had nothing. He didn't have this minuscule view of who he was. Minuscule. I don't know. You know the word. M-E-N, minuscule. Let me see. They had a minuscule view of him. Let me see if it come up. Minuscule. There we go. Extreme, small, or tiny. So they didn't have they had a small view of him, a very small view of who he was at 20 to the 30s. Because they were in their 20s, they had abundance of options. But now they become less desirable each year passes. I got my money right. Now I'm visible to them. I want us to really think about that as men. You could call that, I'm not on this, I don't use these simps, gimps, gamma, alpha, because we don't use alpha and beta. There's a omega, that means N. There's sigma, there's gamma, there's theta, there's phi, there's psi. That's not the whole Greek alphabet that we're going to utilize words from the animal kingdom, alpha and beta. But if you're going to utilize them, if I would be a beta, I wouldn't. I would probably be a sigma. I'll be a gamma, and I'll be an alpha at time. I will be all 26, quote unquote, whatever it is, 25, 24, 23 letters of the Greek alphabet because I amplify all. And that's you as a man. And once you as a man understand that, I am a red pill, I am a blue pill, I am a black pill, I am every pill you can think of. I am an atheist, I am a Christian, I am a, you know why? The Pareto distribution, the law of probability and distribution. I am distributively, so if you make a calendar like a 64 tournament calendar, I am all of those things. Gamma, alpha, beta, sigma, phi, psi, omega, zeta. I am all of those. not one part of a man. I mean, if I'm not all of those, I'm according to, because because law me all, spirit me all. I am the earth, wind, fire, and water, and love. Oh no, I know how you look, brother David. I know how you look. I know how you look. I don't. Yeah, he said, I already know. He's not a bad looking dude. I don't. And maybe, but a lot of women wouldn't. What if I call that woman? What if I never told that woman she was the most prettiest woman? You're welcome, brother, in the world. If you seen her face, you would think she never heard that, and maybe she didn't. She probably she stood around, like, waited enough. I have days and I don't understand, and I waited around for her to love me. I waited around. No, she waited around for me to. I loved her that day. She probably like, wow, this man sat, and she sat. I could see she sat in her car. I was with my friend. She sat in her car for a while. She had a white car. Probably seen her again before. She probably interacted with me, and I probably noticed her, but didn't know. I don't know, something going on. Like, I remember a girl approached me in North Carolina. It was a club called the Party Zone. She walked up to me. I didn't say nothing to her. A friend came over and said, why won't he say nothing to me? All I did was look at her. I didn't even say hi. At least that would have helped. I'm not saying, because sometimes we think we got to be perfect. So if money be made me visible, bruh, if you ever think as other women do, where are the good men? Why aren't the good men approaching and so on? And understand, we see how women move in societies these days. Women don't want to deal with men. They don't want to wait at the finish line for the winner. This is why I want the immature woman. It's my turn. And that's how they look. I think he worded that wrong. Now the next response. Women don't have an understanding why are they sexually attracted to certain type of men. So Tanner Tremblay give them a way out. There's no way out. I don't have a way out. The reason I am single today is because of me. But I had to endure. See, fighting slavery is a perseverance. Overcoming the racism in your workplaces and doing better and standing on your 2 feet as a man is persevering. But me having to wait for somebody, man, do I have to look at it? The question was so beautifully written. I agree. I have to wait after she got little in return. I have to give myself and give my blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, cool. I have to give my blood, sweat, and tears to a woman that don't want me? Huh? That's what we were saying now. That's what we're saying. I guess that's what we were saying now. That is what we're saying. I have to give my blood, sweat, and tears to a woman that don't want me. I hit the space bar. Finally loaded, took forever. So now that was his response. Women don't have to understand why Jordan isn't all wrong here, but don't lose faith. Now here we go. I respect it. Understand what women are, what they are not. There is no such thing as perfect love. And then we got to understand it's hard. Now I'm not gonna get into the back. I just want to see. I thought more people. It must have been another comment where he articulated and it became a battle. But sometimes we don't need a battle. But he's angry, he's mad, and I can see. See, now I can understand. And I hope the other guy understand now when he responded. I don't appreciate you telling me not to lose face. I'm not whining. I'm just sharing my experience of what it is. I'm just saying I don't want a woman my age or older or something that would make me feel like because that's what happens. That's what happens
you overlooked, and now I supposed to all of a sudden ignore that? I'm sorry you felt disrespected. That was not my intentions. Boom. I know he didn't mean it that way. It's not an argument. See, not arguing. See, this is maturity. This is adult. When women say I want a GRWN or GRM, that's a grown man talk, I guess, or a grown woman. I said the grown woman, the grown man. It's grown man talk, grown woman talk. I'm sorry you felt disrespected. That's not my intention. I'm going to say this again, as I believe, as you may overlooked it. The value of who you are and were overlooked because many women saw in their 20s might not have been able to see you were who you were and are because they were immature. They get an out. He already gave a definition of an out. That's what people I tell. So what I do when I talk to people, I say we went over that under immature. Now, if you're going to respond to me, respond in the manner of what now, what's the new part? We hit that. Well, I guess they went over it again. Thereby supporting you point that like jerks, bad boys. Okay, you got it. Okay, they got it. Wow, Sophia, oh, this woman got it. I don't know if he's going to receive it that way. Wow, my conversation would have ended with her because I would say, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what I can do anymore. I don't know how this rest is going to go. Okay. And you leveled up. You got better. You did everything. It had to do with money. I think we ain't saying money because another woman tried to say, how's your personality? She kept saying all these things. And the dudes was like, for real? That's like the God, like, that's like God level divine entity man you see. I got to be emotionally intelligent. That means I got to suck up to your views and not tell you. It's like a lot of things that go into that. And I say a lot of men not gonna get it, but a lot of women, see, we not gonna get it. But the part they don't get about us, they not even gonna try to get. A woman kept saying, I'm trying. I was like, no, you not. Because if you was trying, you came across a picture or video I watched 3 months ago and it made you mad. And it still made you mad. I'm not saying you're going to change overnight, but 2, 3, 4, 2 months later, you're still mad. How? Are you using that old one or are you creating a new friction between us? A new divide, the common denominator. And I'm sorry to say it, it's not me, it's you. So if you don't want a man, that's why I say you need a Christian man. He might not have those. My friend Lamar didn't have that. He didn't have the naked picture of a woman. That's what you need. I'm not that type of dude then. See how I understand? You see the title of this video. You see, let me look at the title of myself again. Hold on. See the title of my video. I'm okay. I accepted my plight. It's on me. I know since I was a child. I accepted my plight. Boom, bam. I have not blaming nobody of why. The shocking reason today why I am single. I have accepted that. I am okay with that. I'm not okay, but I am okay. You improved on yourself and your finances. And I'm happy they said yourself because he didn't never mention that, but he was letting them know, like, we're going to get there. Therefore, these same women have now matured, seeing you done for yourself in addition to growth you achieved, are now attracted to that. They have matured and they can't see it. This is what I'm trying to explain. Hope this brings clearly. Also, some women don't want to build with men. That is true. I also believe that men need to find those who will. The ones who will build with you, let me add, may not look as glamorous as being desired, but they are there. But I end by saying good men, great men do exist. I meet them all the time. However, women have to take time to get to know them. My 100 contribution. I understand what you're saying, but I think maturity is what determines the behavior a certain way. I think most women know the bad boys will make good long-term partners, and they are counting on men like me and many of my friends to say them, don't say them. They don't want to be saved, don't say them. They were done playing. Basically, I'm set up for the short end. And that's what we're going to that's why I say I bow out. I honestly do, black women. Go get your And I told the one girl, one woman I follow, female, she do trucking. We didn't beef, we didn't argue. She said, I see why. She didn't give like I'm with a white man. I'm quite sure she dated Asian because she said she probably dated an Asian because come to find out, one of my favorite lady dancers, I don't know if it's real, she's with an Asian man. Weaker, smaller, punier, but I guess he looked gay. Sorry, he looked gay to us. Weaker, smaller black men. I meant weaker, smaller black men don't look great gay to me. I'm not saying it because he's Asian. I seen some weaker, smaller white guys don't look gay to me. I met some weaker, smaller white Asian men that don't look gay to me. But my favorite dancer woman, she wanted the Asian guy. So, like Jordan said, the women were right. Moaning about the past isn't going to change anything. Pull your socks up and become a suitable mate. And you see where we go with these comments. See what I'm saying? He did not read. He did not read what he wrote. He didn't see how I took the time out. And see, and this is what I do. I read comments and look up words and stuff. I try to find their point of view. I am king. I am a suitable mate. It's what I'm saying. I just don't want someone else leftovers. I'm not saying you're whining, but you lost say, so appreciate whatever you want. But see, there is no. This is what I experience. I meet brothers that don't. I have plenty of pictures of naked white women, some naked black and Latino women, right? But if that's a turnoff to a Christian woman, I told that Christian woman, I'm not a match for you then, because I'm not going to turn me off to try to turn you on. But in the process, I'm turning you on, but I got to turn me off. I got to lose who I am. And yes, that's a part of me. I'm not saying porn is a part of me or naked women is a part of me, but I'm a man. I'm single. So while I'm dating you, I'm not looking at those naked women. But those saved in my cloud. You got an iPhone, those pictures aren't ever there until you delete them. And the reason I don't delete them, because if you're not gonna be here with me, because so you picking and choose, she's gonna see how she see her options of picking me is not the same how I'm picking her. I'm saying I understand what you're saying. And that's not true, Queen B. Usually at 20, you're broke. A lot of men I'm not broke. What is broke? Don't have nothing together, therefore you lack value. You lack value. See what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Queen B just amplified. The shocking reason, men, why you are single today, to improve on yourself. But nobody, we all these reasoning. Oh man, see what I'm saying? Usually at 20, you're broke and don't have nothing together. You don't have, at 20, I don't have nothing together. My mind not together. I don't have a place to stay ain't together. It must be dirty. It must be junky. My mind must be dirty and junky. I'm eating healthy. I'm working out. I have nothing together. You see that premise? He tried to take away the premise. And he added, I feel a certain way in his premise. And he's correct in his way. She's even correct in her own way. But in an actuality, that was minuscule. She made it extremely big because you can make it small. Their work applying analytical statistics to calculate insurance risk and premiums. Young women are immature. As we get older, we start to value valuable things. Stop caring less for women. Age and look what you find a good woman. You're welcome. And no, that's not. I'm 38. I'm sorry. I don't want a 52-year-of-age woman. Stop saying that. He literally watched these girls date men year or two, 5 years younger, 10, 20, 15 years older. But she called them immature. She gave no hope to this man. She gave this man no type of reasoning to even want to pursue her. Excuse me, someone else leftovers? We are human beings. Nobody's leftover. It's called life, women, and men have a path. I don't know how old you are, but he right. That's not what he mean. They said, oh, someone left over. Hey, everyone has pre-relationship.
You had girlfriends before too, so your logical women who date you is also getting leftovers. See, now it go from an understanding, and this is when, and thank you, Kelly Kells, as a woman, you literally proved his point. Y'all proving this man point. Men are not being valued for men. Women are being valued. We are taught women are special. What are you? But when men start calling themselves, if women are special, how come you can't be a prize? And no, I don't mess with Christian women. And then I went to a Christian church, and my stories, they don't want you. Man, he's like, yo, I remember the first lady. I remember I've been to different churches. Single men would stand up, and it wouldn't be a lot of us, but a lot of the women don't. They didn't want them. And I mean, these brothers don't smoke. They might drink a little sippy sip. They didn't party hard. They might have did. These dudes wouldn't know that. I mean, I met these dudes. Like, yo, this is like my everyday life. You're like, you want some Hennessy? He's like, and I watched him. I was like, how long you had the Hennessy bottle? He mean, I had this almost a year. He said, I take a shot here and there. He said, I love Henny, but I don't love it like that. He said, my life's different. He said, I never was wild. He said, maybe a year. He said, he said, I never down Hennessy. He said, if anything, this is the longest I ever had a bottle. He said, usually I drink it in a month or two. Then get another bottle. This happened there. He had his little bar. He said, oh, he had a good place to stay. It was a house, his own house, whether he rented or owned it. I was like, wow. When I was my prime, now here go Kuma Joey. When I was in my so-called prime, H1 guys were not checking for me because how I looked. I guess I looked in the mirror and see why I was overlooked. I tried shooting my shot at different guys, but none of them interested. I started working out, dressing better, and working other areas of my life. What I'm saying is not only men are invisible. So Kuma Joey must be coming from a girl account, a guy account. There are plenty of women who get overlooked too. But we already represented it that a lot of men, which I have talked to as well, have said, if I'm only dating black women, I dated all shapes. I even dated a black woman that smelled funny. Or two. I even dated a black woman that had halom. So we are beyond what we're keep getting thrown in our face. We are beyond reproach. Address someone in such a way that is disrespectful or disappointment, especially. So we are beyond that. We are beyond the reprimand of a severe or formal approved official reproof takes in different forms of different legal system. Maybe formal or professional may also administer a warning issued by employer. We already gave our reprimand, our reproach for it. Keep saying that's a disappointment. I'm single because it's my fault and reflection of a disappointment. Well, says she are invisible. So she concluded that people do ignore people based on, but we are beyond that disapproval because we say, well, I dated of all women of all my, like I said, the older woman looked at older, the other one looked at younger, but she was into another one. The other one had a thing in her too. The other one smelled funny. The other one was shaped weird. It wasn't no beef. But it's stuff you never say to them because you don't want to hurt their feelings, but it never bothered you. People say, like, why you say it? Because I'm trying to give an example of showing how you're not overlooked. Because now my reproach to her, now my disapproval say, those same women want the same men that the other women was getting. And we see that. We see that in movies. We see that in real life. That nerdy girl wanted the bad boys. Right. They didn't want you, and you ain't want them. And Brother David being very honest. They didn't want you, and you didn't want them. So, yeah, you're being honest. Some of us didn't have that. There are plenty of women who get overlooked too. Just because a woman your age is interested in you does not mean she was going for bad boys in her room. The bad boys seem to have their picked in colleges where they look what the ones who looked attractive. You would be surprised how many women your age went through the same thing you did. But then now we have to come back through the facts with women. Why are not that women? Why aren't these women making their soap available? Huh? Why aren't they? It's like, but I'm my own reason. We give it. It's, you see how many reasons I give? I had to wrote them all down. I think I will fill up a paper of it's my fault. I'm reflecting on me instead of deflecting. Even in that, a lot of women are invisible, but they're not invisible to me. I say now, a couple of weeks, I would say last week or a week and a half or 2 weeks, about not even 2 weeks, about a week and a half or a week ago, I was on the bus. I seen this young lady. I'd say she's the sexiest woman I ever met in the world. Like that one lady, she was the prettiest woman I ever seen in my life, still to this day. But at that moment, that was the sexiest woman I've seen in a while. And when she wasn't tall, and I love tall, see what I'm saying? Women has a means to only show you a highlight what they're. I'll tell a woman, stop saying you don't want a man with muscles when you do. I don't want him, but you up there gawking over him when they come outside. I want a woman with a fat booty. If I'm looking, that's something I want. But stop saying that's my discussion with the last lady. She kept saying that was my only means of the type of woman I want. She said, I'm not that. And I said, okay, I'm okay that you won't wear lingerie for me. We're not even that long into getting to know each other. I'm okay. But if this go on longer, my woman, and then if I make you my wife, won't wear lingerie for me because she a Christian, I don't want that. Sorry. That's why I don't want it, Brother David. She a Christian, my wife in the bedroom wear lingerie for me. Even I'm willing to pay for it and do everything. I'm willing to do sexy dances. I'm willing to jump on a pole for my wife. I'm willing to go my blood, sweat, and tears for my wife. I'm willing to take that risk to get a driver's license. So, because y'all don't see that. People like driving a car is a luxury. We wasn't born with 2 feet. No, I guess not. And 2 legs. We was never born with. We're not even utilizing that. I met people in shape couldn't walk far. I met people in shape that couldn't run. So that don't mean nothing. I seen people get in a car to go to the corner store. You don't have a bike, but I have a bike and you got a car. I can go farther than you. Whatever. There are plenty, but women wait at the finish line. Of course they do. Otherwise, they'll build with you and you will dump them for willing you really want. The immature, longer you. And then overall, if we could end it, I'm going to read all 35 comments. You literally proved his point. And he made his point. Yep, he's better off going 8 years younger and less emotional baggage. Because when she started having sex with all race men and comparing you to white men, it was a white man. He's a manager at a job. He had to fire a guy. It was a black man. He came home to his wife and he said, guess what, honey? I got fired today. She said, why? He said, I really don't know. I did everything I was supposed to do. I thought I was doing well. I never had a bad evaluation. But then the white home, that was his black husband. The white man went home to her black husband. He said, good golly gee gosh. Had to fire that man. Guess who the man he fired? See the difference is? And it's not, even in reverse, the black man go home to his black wife. He talk about how he had to fire a guy. That white man go home to his black wife. You think he gonna get the same grievance from his wife than the black man got from his wife from having a fire or to being fired? No. So when that girl that I followed as the trucker said that, it makes sense. She said that how I stood by black women, even my female friend, or what female associate, confidant, or whatever, or lady I can confide in or fight in, and everything. I stood by her, and even that, it still asked her was something like missing. They didn't want to be with me, but they would easily choose the other race man.
Yeah, I understand, Brother David, but I never overlooked them. So that's the difference. So your depiction now is, Brother David, I would have to say, what's the reason you're really single? Like, I'm taking the time out. This comment associated with me and a lot of black men I know very well. It seemed as I respect your thing. I'm not cutting you off or kicking you out or saying this relate to you, but then now you gotta look at why. You know me, brother. I'm about the why. Why am I single? So based on easily triggered replies to this dread, I can tell you are a very toxic person. So this was with Natalie, white WM. I guess Natalie must be black for white men. So she's one of those pillars that she choose one side. Calling women your age older or someone leftover is no good. Older or younger, or date a man with your attitude. No woman or man like date someone with entitled attitude. You got a job, and now what? Some women, some young virgin must be brought to you for your effort. You might find younger women to date you, but they are immature, low character, and likely use you for money. Hey, using their younger bodies, they'll discourage another guy from more. Good luck. And see, she didn't even read the comment. That was a trigger. Natalie got triggered because she a black girl that was very promiscuous, permuted from promiscuous. Whatever. I go back to the word. You're not being a better man has little to do with it. They choose a guy out of prison. And Mo Essa married, yes, that's why you go for younger one. Face have nothing to do with it. Now, here's his response. You want, now I would say now to Natalie WM, she want me to talk. Now, I have learned this. Now, maybe if he hadn't said nothing, but he gave an example of what he said leftover after the fact. Somebody kept instilling a understanding that didn't even go to why I'm single. He bring up why he was single and what he experienced. But her whole response saying he triggered, and no woman want to be with a man your attitude. And I'm not saying I'm entitled to that woman, because I even dated a woman. I said, you leaving. I said, you're not gonna leave. She said, you can't tell me what to do. I said, I'm not telling you what to do. But it seemed like she answered more of a command. But I guess she didn't want me. You know what she was crying over? A dude from the street. She grew up on the west side of Rochester. I'm learning that wasn't the street. The east side of Rochester and the west side is two different time zones. I was like, wow. I felt like in the east side, I didn't feel out of place because I grew up in the projects, quote unquote, hood. When I went to the west side, I didn't feel out of place because I know my respect and moral values and ethics I was brought up in. I wasn't brought in dirt. It's because I lived in the project. My house is clean, so the west side is clean. East side is more dirty, more stuff on the street. But people, they try to clean it up because you can go from the west side to east side of Rochester like that. Certain parts. You go right into the Rochester, the beginning. Rochester is not big because then you got Henrietta, you got Mount. It's like part of Monroe County. I don't know how that works because you got Buffalo. Buffalo ain't big because then you get Cheetah, you got Tondawan, Depew, Lancaster. So you got outskirts. So it's quick spots. You call Buffalo. And in Rochester, there's certain spots, that certain part. That was quick. That part was part of Monroe County. Just like in Buffalo, you got Erie County. Then you got Saskatchewan County and Cattaraugus County. You got different counties. But this part is cleaner. So, and he asked her to look up left in the team document, but it is used in many cultures. And yes, it is. Yes, it is used in many cultures, left over and used up. In other culture, women don't even get married if they're not virgins. Boom. So those women became feminists. Like, why I can't? But not on account that they've been raped or molested, on account that they think they was liberated. And then realize the men don't want a liberated woman. We want a woman. We want a womanly woman. If she is 30, single, and has no kids or kind, most likely she has emotional baggage, trust issues, probably have friends with benefits and have them contact lists while talking to you. I experienced that with the last woman, not the last one I dated, the one before that I dated. Still talking to other people.
The other one did too, but she wasn't talking to him. I don't know. She gave me a weird vibe. The last one I really dated, and it's like you to bellow you when you're going through tough, precisely because of this, because of social media options. While with a younger woman, you get a chance at something real if you do it right. I know this sounds bitter, but I'm reading the Morgan Freeman's voice. Maybe you would get it then. It won't be like that at all. Most younger women are more mature than older spinsters who do nothing. I'm sorry. So the Mo Issa lady came to me. I'm sorry that just not sense. Women that age picked up very easily than men that age do. That's a fact. A prime girls greater options, far, powered by far. Even though she don't have nothing. And so we gotta remember, even though that young lady that made 62,000 a year, she still ain't have nothing. At 24, she still ain't had nothing. She made 62,000 a year, but that's say that at 24, that was her first year of making 62,000. She still ain't have nothing. She still is not at her prime or for who she is yet. See what I'm saying? See he already weighed the variables. Prime girls have greater options and power by far. Bad boys have edge and outcome independence. That's why they are universally picked up, at least initially. Let's see where Marion. And people say on dehumanize women over 30 by calling them leftovers. If you're a suitable mate, stop crying then. Get yourself a younger version of Mary. That's no big deal. And see, and that's where now I love the rest of the comments. See, if you can read them, plenty of men don't want women, virgin limit. But it's not so much that. And he's talking to Joel, you're assigned women are valuable and get upset at 21 are mature enough to understand a good man. Stop bringing creepy and leave high schoolers co-ed alone. Maybe stop shaming women and better pump gang. Oh, you're trying to see. And she fall right into the category. And see, everybody now is no longer, and people are no longer responding to what he's alluding to. So let's see. Oh, because let's go back. Let's go find Miriam, because I don't want to respond unless somebody's responding to Miriam. Or Miriam is saying, you're wrong. You got lost faith. You'd be looking at these videos. If I had lost faith, I wouldn't like it. Probably nobody saying to notice the unfairness he's pointing out. What we're experiencing is not a just, and we're not looking for a just. But and it's funny, I didn't even read these comments, and you notice how in the beginning I said there'll never be a such thing as equality, but it's fairness. And let me give me a better example. I'm 6'5", and a woman is 5'2", or another guy is 5'4". I can reach the top of the shelf without a ladder. He don't need to get hurt and go climb something. He can reach the bottom of the shelf without bending over. I'm not saying I'm gonna hurt my back, but less of an effort. And he can hand that to me, I can hand that to him. The exchange is equal. No, the exchange is fair and equal at the same time. I can reach, he can go lower, shorter, taller. That's where we have to point out, I can do all of this, but what as a man is keeping me single? Why is it I'm able to meet a black woman that accepts me for me, I can build with or have what I have and keep growing? Oh, you good, brother. And you can't spend your aloof with worthless men, nor in good long-term prospect, and then turn around and say that you're wiser now. You can't spend your aloof with worthless men. And see how you keep, this brother just keep articulating off his first comment, and this is how I talk. Maybe in a longer sense, I try to shorten it, and sometimes I'll write something, I'll read the whole thing, I'll delete majority of it and show you the empire like he do. But he's like, he got to the point. That's why I space it. You can't spend your loose with worthless men. Expect me, the man that don't practice. Let's say I didn't make six figures. What makes me less of a man? Say I don't have a muscles, but I'm in shape. That man in the muscle, I grab him, wow, slam him on his head. Bam. Why do that muscle factor? I protected you. See what I'm saying? We don't have the same option. So a woman that came to find a man, that's on her. I'm starting to say that. You're that invisible girl. You invisible But how many times did you stand in front of him? I stood in front of the woman I like thousands of times. I even walked over and say my name, even though I've been hurt badly by her. So don't say, we not to say, and I can't keep comparing. A woman got to stop comparing you to man. A man plight would never be a woman plight because we don't have the same plight. I have to approach you. You just have to be noticed. Do things to be noticed. Now I gotta woo you. Now peep the game. Nobody pay attention to the factor of dating. I approach her. I get her number. I call her. I set up the date. I pick her up or make sure she get there. I pay for the food. I make sure she get home. And then I'm hoping for her to call me for a second date in another time. Where's the fairness in that? And see, now we can say, oh, that's what men are always supposed to do. Men, I'm not disagreeing on what I'm supposed to do. But guess what? I did 8 things to her one thing. Women say, I remember a woman saying, well, by the time I have a baby, we that baby right there, I'll take 8 things. Well, by then I've done 8 more things. So it's still going to be not fair. So the ultimate togetherness, I say that at the end. It's fair. So men don't care if you're wide. We just care if you owe and have baggage. That's exactly what you're saying. There's a crowd of women who are waiting for Peterson to say anything that could latch onto and blame males for everything. They were frothing at the mouth for just a moment. Mostly male advocate would change direction. And we gave Peterson his chance. I am my reason. But beyond my reason of why I'm single, and then marrying to the big dude, if I'm to be honest, I think JP intentionally addresses only the male side of things when it comes to the mating game. We need to level it up. Is it our responsibility and so on? And it really is our responsibility. But what about the other side of things? What about the yang? Is the whole dating mess the whole responsibility of men, or do women bear some responsibility? If so, what could they do to make themselves worth it? Of course, he knows he would be shooting himself in the foot if he discussed that publicly. And that's how it's going to go. If I want my child to have a good home, I have to pick the right woman. So, brothers, in the retrospect of everything, law is all, spirit is all, everything goes together. Be the best you can be. That's all you can be. But soon somebody denied that there's an other side that don't exist, it exists. I wouldn't be single, even though the overwhelming, shocking me is the reason I'm single. But are we not going to address and discuss that publicly and say, now, why is it 38? Why do the 38, the 33, or the woman that had all her fun, porn, dated all these options want me out of all options? I don't want her to want me. But why is it now? And yes, I think man said, why are you thinking like that? I said, because you don't get it. You had the 18 girls at one point in the year. You had the 8 girls in one. I don't even want to have sex. It's just the knowing, look, I'm here. Nobody called me. Nobody sent me a message. No woman called her to say, hi, how you doing? It's the ones that's left. And I don't give them that play no more like I used to. I say, damn, I'm last. It's not that I have been, and even the women I speak of, the women compare other women. You comparing a few women to yo, Lolly. I met a woman, she got mad about me. She was already with 8. Now, this was my fault, but I still tried. She was with 8 men that month and tried to use things on me. And I would talk, but I didn't ever talk and hit her. I know a woman, I would know why I was heads over heels for her, how we call it. She know all the men in the whole city. She moved, now she married. I know when she got married because I don't care nobody say, you never stop loving you. But what I want to get at, men, the most important thing you do in your life is who you give your seed to.
I would say men are the emperor, the women are the empress, and you make prince and princess. Now peep the words. In, per, her, emperor. Impress, imprint. Impress, impress, impress. And we create what? Prince and princess. Print. Emperor. You got a press machine. You create it, and you create prints of who you two are, right? And the princesses, you create the princesses. It's the prince, the empress one day. So be mindful of who you give your seed to, who you love. And now for you, brother, be mindful of how you love yourself. Be okay with who you are as a man, because my title, I accepted my plight. It's on me. I know. And the part about the child, I know what I experienced. And then that's what we're going to keep experiencing. I don't want it. I don't want nothing that they got to offer. I don't want none of that. If I can't have, I always said I want the joys of a woman. All that she gave to another man. If she have a child, she and this is fact. I don't care how many people want to lie to you. It's a lie. She can't give you the joy of a first child with already a child. She can't give you the first joy of living with you when she already lived with a man. She can't give you the first joy of love. She already gave it away multiple times. And we already know she gave it to men that didn't even earn it. You got to earn it with your blood, sweat, and tears. She can't give you nothing. I have all these firsts. And I wanted to find a woman with a first. And a lot of women, and I'm okay with a lot of women breaking up with me and not wanting to be with me because they know they couldn't give me a first. I am cool with that. I want a first. I want to live my first house. I want to be in a real relationship. I want to be something that I don't see from me, not from what other people, not from what my family and my mother. I want to do something that they never experienced with a woman that want to experience that. She's been married and the divorce. She cannot say she experienced that. No. So what I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. Thank you, Brother David, for coming on. I hope you receive something. I hope my young brothers receive something. And I hope y'all have a great day. Much love. And I hope that people will come. But I'm not even expecting that. By grace, that this helped the brothers that need to be helped. Not so much the men that don't understand. He get all the women. For all the women talking about he needs 200,000. They don't want that. They don't want what I want. And women that keep saying they want, is brothers out here. Y'all don't want me. If y'all wanted me, it wouldn't be difficult. If y'all wanted me, you'd be knocking on my door. If y'all wanted me, y'all send me an email and say, hey, what about me? And I say, hey, let me check you out. Let me take you out. But y'all don't want that. So I'm not going to accept my plight as a single black man in America. I'm demonized, stigmatized. Hashtag Brother Talk Series. Let's get this going. We are bigger than who we are. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't want that. I love me and will always love me. I can't fit into nobody's boxes or anything they do. And you can't either. So one love. Shalom.